Welcome to Sammy and Marissa's Husbands podcast, episode 17, brought to you by this piece of paper. Got a little This Day in History for you by Trey, and then an athlete by me. Then we're going to get into some nasty topics.
Yeah, nasty topics. So this day in history, right? May 2nd. Good old Osama bin Laden was killed by US forces. Pretty big day. A leader of Al Qaeda, if you didn't know. He was behind the attacks on September 11th, 2001. The operation itself was kind of wild. They had two Blackhawks. They flew in 23 Navy SEALs into this compound in Pakistan. The Blackhawks came in. They were about to do this freaking fast rope down to this crazy ground assault. Right, one of the Blackhawks crash landed in the backyard. Somehow nobody got hurt. Right, they still went in, did the whole mission, and then they came out. And I guess not even everybody knew that the Blackhawks crashed. So they were like, "Holy shit, how do we get out of here now?" So that was pretty wild. But they captured him, killed him, all that stuff, gathered as much intel as they could, and they bounced. Pakistani government didn't even know they were there, so we didn't even tell them we were flying into their airspace, which is kind of wild. And we buried him at sea according to Islamic practice, which I don't think they would have done for us. So, that's this day in history.
I don't know about the last thing you just said, but what I do know is I remember John Cena announcing that on an episode of, I think, Monday Night Raw, that Osama bin Laden had been compromised to a permanent end.
Yeah, that probably happened. What do you mean about the last thing I said, that he wouldn't have buried one of our people properly?
I don't know if we actually buried that guy properly. I think we just tossed him off the boat.
No, I think we disposed of his body in a way that was fine with Islamic practices, which I think tossing him off a boat is technically fine in Islamic practice. They would have strung us up by our feet and dragged us through a city. So, whatever. Am I
I don't
wrong?
know. Would a terrorist organization do that to Americans? Obviously.
Yeah,
Yeah, obviously. He's a piece of shit. He got what he deserved. Anyway.
I'm with it. So rest of the agenda, right? You got athlete. Then we'll kind of go over a little bit of what's been happening with our lives. Talk about some workouts that we have, or in your case, have not been doing. Kendrick dropped a diss track, so we'll go over that a bit. Talk about Apple Music versus Spotify, which I think we both have some choice thoughts. And then good old NBA playoffs, then closing comments. So you're up, athlete.
All right. So for my athlete today, I am doing Elizabeth Brenner, our first female multi-sport athlete. In high school, she was two-time Oregon Player of the Year for volleyball, one-time Player of the Year for basketball, two-time state champion in the shot put, and all-state in softball.
So she was one of them thick girls.
Not really. Not really. She's actually pretty slender and a beast when she got to college too. So she goes to Oregon, three-time All-American in volleyball, a one-time All-American in the javelin. She also threw shot put, and then she also was a part-time starter on the basketball team. And 1 year was like, I'll play softball, and played softball on a college World Series team.
That's pretty impressive.
Insane career. I was looking up, I was trying to find athletes who, hard enough to play two sports in college.
Right.
Trying to find some three-sporters, and then I was like, fuck, she played four sports, so I feel like she kind of deserves the recognition. But also, she didn't win. She was top 3 for Sports Illustrated Amateur Athlete of the Year, but she didn't win.
Yeah. Who won that year? Do you know?
Nah, don't care. They weren't as good of an athlete.
Obviously, they were. In someone's eyes, they were. Um, but yeah, that's super impressive. I mean, 4 sports in college is nuts. I don't care if you're male, female, whatever, but that's wild. Um, so moving on to what's been happening in our wonderful lives. Tell me about your week.
I have a closing tomorrow, and on Sunday, I got 2 houses under contract and a lease signed. So it's been an insane week.
It's busy. I
Yeah.
mean, better busy than not busy though.
Oh, definitely. Because I
Does make
mean,
the time go by fast.
you go from not having a deal to 6 months to 4 deals in a month, and it's like, you make what some people make in a year working 20 hours. So it's like a cheat code when it's on, but when it's off, it sucks.
Yeah, I think that's the problem with real estate is like you get this false sense of I make tons of money, and then you go through those dry periods, and it becomes pretty rough because you spend money like you make money, um, and if you don't save properly and use that income that you make in 1 month and spread it out like you make it the whole year, then you could be in for a rude awakening.
The agents that survive like a long time are the ones that know how to handle like the lean times. And then you're like a lot of these like there's like 4 or 5 names who if I said them, you'd probably know who they are just from like seeing their names around town. They've built up such a rapport
Mhm.
that they're able to survive just on like word of mouth,
Yeah, and that's
which hopefully to me at some point.
yeah. I mean, that's where you're ultimately want to get to, right? It's that word of mouth and becoming a name when somebody says like, "Oh, I need to start looking for a house." Like you're one of the names that become familiar because they've heard it around. So it's like, "Oh, let me reach out to that person, this person." So that's where you got to get to eventually.
That's the goal, baby.
The goal. So I've had a little bit of an interesting week. I worked Monday and then I have been off since Tuesday and I go back to work next Tuesday. I as you can tell by my fancy glasses I'm wearing right now, I got some corrective eye surgery. I got PRK, which is similar to LASIK. Um, it still is involved with the laser, but it's a different process, and I'll kind of tell you a little bit about it. But overall, it's not too bad so far. I think it's supposed to get kind of worse on days 2 and 3 of recovery. Right now, it just kind of feels like I have something in my contact. Like it's just bugging me. Is kind of what it feels like right now. It's not painful or anything. I'm pretty sensitive to light. Like I couldn't look at my computer screen without these sunglasses on right now. It'd be way too bright. It's honestly bright, like with the sunglasses on. I'm supposed to wear these sunglasses for 30 days inside, which is crazy to me.
What?
Yeah, 30 days I'm supposed to wear sunglasses inside, and 90 days I'm supposed to wear them outside. Apparently, it's to prevent permanent scarring, which would be kind of crazy. I don't know what permanent scarring on your eyes look like, but I don't think I want to find out.
Means you go blind.
Likely, yes. So I think I'm gonna stick with the guidance on rocking the sunglasses inside, even if it means I'm gonna look like a doucher walking through the grocery store with sunglasses on. But um, I guess whatever. Um, didn't get any pain pills. They just gave me some Valium, which is like a muscle relaxer, I think, and an 800 milligram ibuprofen. About 20 minutes before the surgery, they then took me into a room, laid me down on this bed, told me to look up at this green light, and they took this little like brush that's kind of like an electric toothbrush, and they opened my eyelid, like they had clamps. They did one at a time, so they clamped over my eyelid, put the brush down and I guess scraped the outer layer of my eye, which is right. There's two layers on your eye before you get to your cornea, right? It's like the epidural. It's not epidural, but it sounds kind of like that. It's like epi, as in like skin, and that layer apparently like grows back within like 4 to 5 days. So they have to get rid of that layer. And then in the stroma is where they use the laser, right? So the difference between LASIK and PRK is PRK, they take that brush and like scrape away that outer layer. And LASIK, they use the laser creating the flap. They flap that skin-like layer open so the laser can get down in there. Apparently, there's a little bit more risk associated with LASIK because that flap can get all messed up, and PRK is a little safer, even though it's a little bit more like painful in the end. So apparently, days two and three are probably going to get pretty brutal. But honestly, I was laying on the bed for maybe 5 minutes.
For the surgery?
Yeah, super fast, maybe 5 minutes. And when like after they finished the brush, which it didn't really hurt, it was just weird feeling. Like it was like obviously touching my eye and spinning. Like I could feel it spinning, but it didn't hurt. Uh, um, and then he was like, "Okay, look up at this green light and don't move your eye." I was like, "Okay." Looked up at this green light and like it went like a little vibrating sound. It was obviously the laser happening. I couldn't feel anything, but I could like smell it. Like I could smell my eye like burning. It was weird. It didn't necessarily smell bad, but it didn't it didn't smell good. But honestly, like even walking out of the surgery, like I can already see much better than I could see without my glasses before. It's still not perfect, and it's not really supposed to be perfect for like 2 weeks after the surgery. So like I could go out, I could drive a car right now, it could be all good, but it's not like I don't have 20/20 vision right now. So yeah, that's my week for you. It's been odd, but hey, Army paid for me to get surgery. I'm gonna freaking take advantage of it.
That sounds like a fucking horror movie, dude.
It was
What
weird, man.
you just described sounds, I mean, I know you're saying it wasn't painful, but like the description of it is terrifying.
Yeah, so like they do the prep and the nurse comes in before and tells you all the medicine you have to take and when you have to take it. And the doctor comes in and there's a group of us that were doing it. There's like 20 people doing the surgery all at the same time. It was like an assembly line, dude. And they come in, they brief us, and he tells us, he told us basically exactly what I just told you, like how the surgery is about to go. And I was like, holy shit, they're about to like electric toothbrush the outer layer of my eye off? Like, what the hell? Like, is it too late to back out? Like,
Fuck that.
but honestly, like it didn't hurt. It was just weird. The laser didn't hurt at all. The toothbrush didn't hurt. It was just like I can't even describe the sensation. It would honestly like if you had an electric toothbrush with really, really soft bristles and they put it on your eye. Like it didn't hurt. It was just like something's on my eye vibrating right now.
I can't even get an eyelash in my eye and it not ruin my fucking day. So
Yeah, well, I mean, I've worn contacts since I was probably 7 years old, so I'm like used to touching my eye, having things in my eye, bugging my eye, but whatever. Um, yeah, but it's gonna pay off in the long run. Like not having to wear contacts or glasses anymore, like it's gonna be big time.
yeah, I've heard horror stories about LASIK, so I'm glad you didn't get LASIK.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like any surgery, bad things can happen. But let's move on a little bit. Let's talk about some workouts.
I want to talk about your eyes some more.
Okay, what do you want to hear?
Nah, I'm just fucking with you.
Um, I do wonder if like they're gonna change color or anything.
Is that the thing that can happen?
I have no idea.
I'm guessing probably not.
Probably not.
If
Possible.
it's each color, I hope they turn red. So you look like a fucking demon. Match
Yeah.
your match your fucking cold black heart. Anyway,
So, so workouts, right? Let's talk about what we are and in your case are not doing workout wise.
yeah, so for me it's pretty short, really. I'm pretty much not doing anything
Yeah, it's pretty
other
smart.
than I actually have been eating better because I've been like losing weight just if I actually worked out. And like I have a really hard time of doing them both at the same time. It's like my fucking brain is like, okay, you've lost some weight. Let's stop working out and just eat better. When in reality, I could be like way closer to my goal if I just did them both.
If you just didn't let that inner bitch tell you what to do.
It's winning right now.
The inner bitch is winning with you, yeah.
Not on Tuesdays though, because I go out there and I get buckets. I just
Yeah.
get buckets.
Right. You play basketball 1 day a week. That's good.
I went on a mile walk today.
That's a start.
I think what I'm gonna do next week, because I have a feeling I'm just gonna get blackout drunk this weekend.
That's
Um, you know, the old bags out of town.
old ball and chains taking off.
She's going to Florida to see it play. So
A
might
play.
have
Right.
yeah, her boyfriend lives in Florida.
Oh.
Um,
Is it Rick Ross?
I wouldn't if I got a little bit of that cash, whatever.
I mean, he does live in Florida.
Um, but I think next week I might just see if I can build back up to, I don't know, in like 2, 3 weeks, build back up to like 8 miles.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't even have to be that. Like, just knock out some push-ups in the morning. Like,
Uh,
keep that walk, like that 1 mile walk thing happening. Like, it doesn't have to be some crazy 8 mile run thing that you're doing. You just need to move and exercise along with the eating healthy that you're gonna do. So if you just burn just a little bit more calories on top of like eating healthy, like you're gonna see you hit the goals like way more than you were. Because at first, like before, it was great. You were working out great, but I don't think you were really eating properly. So it's like that's why we didn't do it. And then it's just like we gotta just keep that consistency up, and then boom, where you're gonna be fucking 165, baby.
if when I was playing on Tuesday and I jumped up and smacked the backboard pretty hard, and I like kind of was talking to somebody and they saw me and they were like, "Oh, that means you're still athletic." And I like kind of mumbled and I was like to myself, but they were right there. I was like, "I wonder if I could touch the rim still."
Okay.
And they said, probably not." And I was like, "Fuck."
Yeah, I don't know what voice was in your head at that
Yeah,
moment,
dude.
but it
I had
wasn't.
a I had a moment of weakness because I felt good. I was running up and down the court, beating a lot of people up and down the court, cutting, playing some defense. Jumped up after a couple games, slapped the shit out of the backboard. I haven't touched the backboard in years, by the way. I think I could have. I just haven't tried because out of embarrassment of not being able to do it. And then I just let it slip. I was feeling good, and I'm 5'9", 250. Well, of course I can't touch the fucking rim,
No, you can't touch the rim.
but I let it slip. And then somebody checked me, and I was like, okay.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, just use that as fuel, man. Not one day, day one. Day one can be tomorrow.
I like that.
Yeah, not one day, day one.
Where'd you get that?
I saw some fucking motivational Instagram, something probably.
Some dude who fucking
Carries
runs
boats.
marathons and
Yeah,
shits like,
yeah, probably somebody that shat down their leg before.
what you got going on? You still doing no running? You boycotting running still?
Yeah, so I'm still my run boycott. I did have to run a 4 mile run with my class. It's just part of their graduation requirement. I still have to do one more. It's slow. It's at like a 9 minute pace and basically just have to be there. But so I got to do two more of those. But really, I have a eight week program I built out that starts in May all the way through June. It's mostly lifting, as you can imagine, but it's very like uh, cardio, like circuit based as well. So Monday and Tuesday are lower and upper respectively, and those are more traditional like powerlifting style workouts. And then Wednesday's like a full body. It's very much circuit based. Might throw in some running, like a Murph style thing on some Wednesdays. Thursdays, like another circuit, but it's focused mostly on lower. And then Fridays, just kind of like the pretty muscles workout. Get ready for the weekend, do some arms, abs, all that good stuff. Really, um, just trying to like keep my body weight around like 195, and I'm probably like 199 right now. So just probably lose like 3-4 pounds. Stay pretty lean throughout the summer. But that's really what I'm looking at right now. I'll likely kick up the running back towards like the end of the summer. I might mess around and try and train up for another marathon in 2025, and just do like one a year because I did, Atlanta in 2024, do another one in 2025, maybe New York City, maybe the Wilmington Marathon. Might fuck around and go to like do the Berlin Marathon, which would be sick. Um, so that's kind of what I'm looking like right now.
That running shit is so weird, man, because I honestly didn't think I'd ever even do a half. And now I'm like, whoa. It like I'm like, well, I could fucking do that again. Like after the pain of the 2 weeks afterwards is gone, it's like, well, that was like a fun experience.
Yeah. It's weird. It's weird how it like tricks you into thinking it's a good idea to go do again. I feel like it's like childbirth in that sense. Like women will be like, I'm never fucking having a baby again. And then like in a year, they're like, yeah, I might want a baby.
Yeah, but they get something out of it. We don't get anything out of it. Just pain.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it is hard to sit here and compare running to childbirth,
Of course,
but
of course, of course it is. You should probably walk that back, but
I should walk
no,
that way back.
but no women listen to it, so it's fine.
That's true. The women don't listen to it. Um, but I mean, it is the same concept in a sense. Like we go through something, it sucks ass. We say we're never gonna do it again, and then fucking 2 months later, here we are saying like, yeah, I might fucking do it again. Why not? My one of my coworkers really wants me to run a 40 miler with him.
I'm gonna be straight up honest with you. If you run a 40 miler, you'll have to fight me
Why?
because that's psychotic.
Wait, he said it's not like running for 40 miles straight. It's like it's in the mountains, so he calls it angry.
Oh,
You're like
oh,
angry walking a lot
oh, so it's in the mountains, so it's harder.
in a sense, yeah.
Not in a sense, it's the higher elevation and probably shit terrain.
Yeah, it's
Now, if it's
definitely
like if it, I think it's throwing me as being classified as a run, like when you said it. If
yeah,
it's like a 40-mile hike, still sounds fucking awful. But
yeah.
that's
Well, I mean, it's definitely like not just a hike. Like it's a race. Like so you're supposed to run.
ugh, fuck.
But yeah, I don't know. It's he asked me every day, and I don't want to. Honestly, I don't want to.
The if you put a gun to my head, I could have ran another 3 miles. I could have done 16 miles.
Yeah, yeah.
What how much do you think you realistically could have done more?
Well, I mean, I did the thing at an 850 pace, so I could have slowed down and done a lot more.
You think you could have done two? You think you could have done 56, 52? I
I
mean,
don't know if my body would have let me do 2 marathons. I think I probably could have got up to like 35 before my body like started shutting down.
before you literally started dying.
Before I literally like my legs wouldn't have worked anymore. Um, but like all that comes with training. Like if you just train your body to do more and more and more, like you'll be able to do it. Like the longest I had ran before that was 18 miles. So like I can't just miraculously get up and run 50.
Right.
Honestly, I'm surprised my body held up to 26 as well as it did after only running 18. Because I mean, 18 and 26 is a big difference.
Yeah, it's a whole nother 10K.
Yeah, it's
More than that.
it's more than that. It's a solid difference. And I'm not gonna lie to you, the first time I ran at 18, like I almost had to stop and call Sam to come pick me up. And if I had cell phone service where I was running, I probably would have. So yeah, I don't know. I was nervous going into it. I really was.
Me too. I was mainly nervous that I was gonna have to shit like and just fuck up my time.
I think I was surprised with how many porta potties there were on the side of the road. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean honestly, if you shit yourself during that race, there's something wrong with you because there was one like every half mile.
Right. It was funny. It always was funny when I saw somebody skirt off into the porta potty. I was like, gotcha.
Gotcha, bitch.
Gotcha, bitch. That was good stuff. Um, but let's move on from workout. We can discuss that a little bit in depth later. Kendrick Lamar dropped his diss track to Drake. We won't stay here too long because we don't have our resident rap analyst, which is Allie's husband. But overall, I thought the diss track was good. Did you listen to it?
I did, and I'd say he took the upper hand with that. His was significantly more personal,
Who? Kendricks?
Kendricks, than Drake's. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was tough because Drake felt like he had to go at like a bunch of different people. It wasn't just focused solely on Kendrick, which I think he's going to have to do moving forward if he wants to, in a sense, win this. I did think that the song was good. It's not going to be something that I put on my playlist and listen to it like a bunch, but it did its purpose, right? I do think what Kendrick did well is he's like tactically making it look like Drake's the one that started the whole beef, like the way he was talking. And that's why I'm giving him the slight lead right now. Um, but honestly, now even more, I think that Kendrick called J. Cole after J. Cole released his song and said something like, hey, bro, like all of this is meant for Drake. It's not really meant for you. We don't have beef. But who knows?
He seems like he hates Drake, like legit, like hates him.
I think he actually hates him.
And I think that, I mean, I don't think Drake has that strong of feelings about it.
You know, I think Drake is just kind of like a petty person in general. And I think it's probably always irked Kendrick. And they've always had to kind of act like buddy buddy because they're peers in the whole rap thing. And neither of them probably wanted to start shit. And Kendrick's probably already always felt like, yeah, I'm better than this dude. And then now it's kind of just like, you know what? We're about to air it all out. About to fucking air this bitch out.
Yeah, I'm giving it to Kendrick right now. And
Yeah,
I said something about it in to Corey and Wes, and I was like, man, that was kind of mean. And then Corey was like, yeah, diss tracks usually aren't nice. And I was like, oh, good point.
yeah, I do like, that we're name dropping now. You know what I mean? There's no flirting with names and stuff. We're name dropping, but um we'll leave the rest to our resident rap analyst. Um I do want to talk to you about a hot topic. Apple Music or Spotify?
I think we lost a little audio there. So we're debating Apple Music or Spotify.
Correct. Are you an Apple Music guy or a Spotify guy?
I have mixed feelings about it,
All right.
but I would say strictly for music, I'm an Apple Music guy.
Okay.
Um it's just something about the app that I just the way it flows, I just like it better. Now, like strictly from just like a user perspective, I like using Apple Music better, and it also could be that's what I've used the longest. It's what I'm used to. But if you want to talk about just as an app in general, you can't listen to podcasts on the Apple Music app. You have to listen to them on the Apple Podcasts app. And Spotify, you've got everything in one place. Um, Personal preference for me, Apple Music, but I can definitely see why people prefer Spotify.
Okay. I'm with you, right? Um,
Oh, we're on the same page.
yeah, we're on the same page. I was thinking you were going to be a Spotify guy, which I didn't really take you as, but then when we talked about it on the phone earlier, you were like, "Yeah, I think we're going to differ," and I was like, "Huh."
Yeah, I thought you were Spotify.
I was like, I didn't take him as a Spotify guy, but to me, Spotify users equal PlayStation users and equal Android users. Like I feel like they should all be in the same category. And I'm probably going to hurt a little bit of feelings when I do that because I'm targeting specifically one person specifically.
I
Um,
know who. Yeah, obviously one person,
and then
but you're
there's
but you're hitting the whole group with the Spotify thing and the PlayStation
and
thing.
the PlayStation thing, but that's just the type of people I feel like you guys are.
I'll
So
tell you, I'll tell you who's going to be really upset at that description because he's an iPhone guy and an Xbox guy, but definitely a Spotify guy is Corey. He's going to be tight at that.
yeah, well, I mean, he needs to get back on his Apple Music game. He's a trader right now. Xbox is the way to go. But I just feel like those people that post their. We'll get into that in a second. But all right, so Apple Music and Spotify, right? Same price. I think Apple Music, like you said, is easier to use. Spotify may make better playlists. I think that's something that they're gonna like probably argue is that Spotify has all these playlists. Well, you know what? I like making my own playlist. I don't want to hear Spotify's playlist
It's
because
it's it's definitely easier to make a playlist on Apple Music, I think.
I would agree with that. It's easy. You just fucking click on the song, edit into this playlist, whatever. I like making my own playlist. So maybe that's why I like Apple Music. I think people that had the iPhone and the Xbox, right, switched to Apple or switched from Apple Music to Spotify because they like the little roll up things on posting on their Instagram stories. You know what I'm talking about? End of the year roll up, like
Oh, Spotify Wrapped.
Spotify Wrapped, exactly. I think that's the only reason people switch to Spotify, which is a cool feature.
You said roll up, and I was thinking cheesy roll up from Taco Bell.
Yeah, maybe that's why. Yeah, never mind. We're not even going to get in that.
Oh, come on.
I was about to say something pretty cruel,
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah. Come on, man. Come on. We're on a unified front here.
yeah, unified front. We're right. You're right. Um, yeah, my Spotify Wrapped would 100% just be rain sounds.
I listen to I listen to that shit on Spotify. It'd be I do listen to podcasts on Spotify. It's better for podcasts.
Is it better for podcasts? See, I use Apple Podcast app. I don't really listen to podcasts like that though. I listen to that one podcast, Smartless. I think I've told you about it before.
That one's pretty funny.
Tell me you listened to the Santa one I told you to listen to.
I listened to it with you.
Did you?
Yeah.
Is that fact?
We were driving and then we went to that ice cream place.
Oh yeah, you did. Yeah. Good stuff. If you you wonderful listeners, if you need a good podcast to listen to, Smartless by was it Jason Bateman?
Jason Bateman and Will Arnett and the guy
Sean Hayes.
yeah, Sean Hayes, yeah.
Yeah, go to the Santa episode. It's fucking hilarious. Like I
But also
literally will cry.
we don't need to be plugging other podcasts on our podcasts.
Let's be real here. The 8 people that listen to this, honestly, 8 is generous. Um, the 4 people that listen to this on a consistent basis, I just want them to be happy. All right.
Fair enough.
Fair enough. But I think we're in consensus that the iPhone is superior to Android,
Definitely.
Xbox is superior to PlayStation,
Without a doubt.
and Apple Music is superior to Spotify.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm glad we
Three
can
for,
be on the same page.
3 for 3, batting 1,000.
Batting 1,000. Um, let's pause for a quick commercial break.
Have you ever suffered from redness or scratchy eyes due to your chronic marijuana use? Clear Eyes Maximum Redness Relief is here to help. They've been helping marijuana users look normal at the gas station since 1992, and they are this week's sponsor of Sammy and Marissa's podcast.
All right. Thanks to our sponsor, Clear Eyes. Just remember, Clear Eyes, full hearts can't lose. Back to our regularly scheduled program. We're gonna get into a little bit of the NBA playoffs, right? So right now the Pacers are up against the Bucks. Looks like Pacers are gonna win that one, right?
Yeah, they closed it out. They won it.
They did win. Okay, so next up we have Knicks and Sixers about to happen right now, actually, probably tipping as we speak. I like 76ers forcing a game 7.
If it goes 7, they're winning.
You think so?
But it's not going 7. Jalen Brunson's sending them home tonight.
I think Embiid gives us one more night of being dominant. Him and Maxey play well tonight. It goes to a game 7, and I like Knicks pulling it out in game 7. I mean,
Okay.
there's really nobody on that team that can guard Embiid.
No, and if he was fully healthy, I think they have a real shot at winning. I mean, they still have a shot at winning the series, but I think it'd be completely different.
Yeah, I don't know. My gut tells me New York because I want New York to win the series, but I just feel like 76ers will hold on for one more game, especially riding the momentum from last game. So I'm liking Sixers tonight.
Tyrese Maxey, good lord.
Yeah, I mean, like I understand that was a travel. Like now that I saw the breakdown, but like if they would have called that a travel, that
You
place
can
would have rioted.
for the safety of everyone involved in the game, they had to not call that a travel.
It was very minuscule as well. Like he I don't even know if he like picked up his foot. Like he just slid it a little bit. There have been way more blatant travels not called. So I like the no call. Um
There's worse shit than that on every play.
oh yeah.
So either clean up the whole game or shut the fuck up about it, you
Yeah.
know?
It's the same thing as those that screen from the Iowa. Was it the Iowa game or was it you? It was UConn,
It,
South Carolina, won it.
no, it was UConn, Iowa.
No, it was UConn, South Carolina. Oh shit. It was somebody. It
It
was
was
somebody in the
it,
women's game.
are you talking about the girls game or the
The
men's game?
girls game.
Yeah, it was UConn, Iowa. It was in the Final Four.
Okay. Yep. Correct. You're right. That's the
I,
first time I've ever been wrong in my whole life, I guess. Um but yeah, right. Like so if you're gonna call it, you gotta call it every time. You can't just decide to call it right there at the end of the game. So I do like the no travel call. Um but yeah, I think we get like a 35-20 game from Joel tonight.
really.
I mean, that's what it has to be.
If he can do that, well, he's dealing with the Bell's palsy issue right now.
Yeah, true.
Um, I was talking to somebody and they were like, "What the fuck does that have to do with him playing basketball?" I was like, I, I don't know. I've never had it, but
Yeah.
it seems like it would fuck me up.
That's pretty funny. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm gonna watch that one. Are you gonna watch it tonight?
Yeah, I'm gonna turn it on.
Okay.
I like that they're doing this. That they're doing some of them on like HBO Max. It makes it a little more accessible to people who don't have cable.
That's true. The shit being on like TNT gets kind of hard.
Yeah.
Um, Tomorrow we have Cavs Magic and Mavs Clippers. Cavs are up 3-2 against the Magic. What do you think?
Magic are getting that one. Big game from Paolo Banchero and the Wagner boys.
See, I'm going opposite of you again. I think Cavs pull it out in 6.
I called that one a 7-gamer when we started. I'm gonna stick with it.
That's fair that you did say that. And that, I mean, it has the makeup to go 7, but I think Cavs pull it out in 6. Mavs Clippers. What do you think?
Fuck the Clippers.
Yeah, I'm team fuck Clippers too. I like Mavs in 6 in that one as well.
I like the guys on the Clippers, but they don't deserve to win.
No, I agree. And
Hey,
I kind of
I,
want to see. Wait, go ahead.
I hate saying that because I love Russell,
Yeah.
but just some part of me wants them to win for Russell Westbrook to win, but they're just not healthy enough. Like
Yeah.
you're not going to beat anybody without Kawhi.
No, absolutely not. I mean, he's the one for the team, you know. I love Paul George. I love Russ. James Harden, I'm indifferent about. Obviously, he brings a lot to the team, but without Kawhi, I just don't think they do it. And the way Luka and Kyrie are playing together, and I did not think that duo was going to work at all, but they seem to know how to play together, which is crazy. So
On paper,
I'm
it
like,
doesn't.
say what?
On paper, I don't think it works like their play styles, but obviously it fucking does.
On paper, it definitely doesn't work. So yeah, I like Mavs in 6. And then what? Saturday night we start round 2, correct?
Yeah, Saturday night, the map or not the Mavs, the T Wolves and the Nuggets play, but the time isn't determined because I think the time slots are based on if they needed to do game sevens, and there's not
Right.
going to be a game 7 for the Pacers game because they just ended that.
Yeah.
And then Saturday will also be a Knicks Sixers game 7 if it's needed.
Yeah. So they'll definitely be that because I've never been wrong. Um,
You were wrong. I don't want to really harp on this, but you were wrong 45 seconds
well,
ago.
I said that was the first time I've ever been wrong.
Okay.
So everything happens once.
Okie dokie.
I hope the T-Bulls, but the Nuggets are the Nuggets. I think the Timberwolves do have the defense to slow down that Murray and Jokic duo, and they have, the new face of the NBA. So man, I would love to see the T-Wolves pull out the Nuggets, but it's going to be a tough task.
Who's guarding Jokic? They putting Gobert on him? They can't, or Cat, which
Why can't they?
uh, I just he's too fucking big, dude.
Okay, who else he's going to guard?
Cat, Cat's got a little weight on him at least.
I think they want Cat to like save some energy for offense. I mean, Gobert's a fucking however many time defensive player of the year. He has to guard him.
They don't even play him at the end of games though.
Yeah, but I do think his length may bother Jokic a little bit. Jokic is gonna bang with him big time and like really punish Gobert's chest, honestly. Um,
Go
but
Gobert's not going to be able to cover him on the outside. Like if he doesn't close, Jokic is just going to bang threes the whole game. And if he does close, Jokic is fast enough to get by him. Gobert cannot slide his feet laterally.
yeah, I don't think Jokic is gonna be like a huge factor, the 3-point line. Like, I don't think he makes more than 2 a game.
He hits 2 though. You got a step, right?
I don't think he hits more than 2 the game. There's no way he hits 2 per game. He will not average 2.0 3-pointers per game.
I'll take that action.
You don't think he'll average? We're talking made threes, 2 made threes.
Yeah, I'll take above 1.9 threes a game made.
So 2.0 and up, you win.
Yeah.
1.9 and below, I win.
Yeah. I'll put a fat Hamilton on that.
A tenner?
Yeah.
All right, I'll take that bet. So 1.9 and below, I win. 2.0 and up, you win.
Yep.
All right, I like it. Free money. Gobert's gonna lock Jokic the fuck up. T-Wolves are gonna win in 7.
I'm also taking T Wolves in 7, but only because Anthony Edwards is gonna be the best player in the world after the series.
Yeah, he's the new face of the NBA. I mean, who else?
I'm expecting big things from the kid.
Yeah, me too. I love him. I might get a tattoo.
I'll get his face tattooed right on my chest.
Yeah,
He beats Jokic. If he posterizes Jokic and does that fucking dick chop thing, I'll get his face tattooed on my thigh.
I want the silhouette of him doing the chop. And maybe I can. Can you get a GIF tattooed on you?
You can do whatever you want if you got the money.
That's fair. I want to get a GIF. Like you move a certain way and the light shines him like doing the fucking chop. That shit would be awesome. That'd be fucking awesome. All right, so I got a random question for you.
Do it.
What's the difference between venomous and poisonous?
Poisonous is if you eat it, and venomous is if it bites you.
Okay, nice. Nice. That's a common misconception that I hear um a lot of people get wrong. So I just wanted to see
It, it
how.
it is a common misconception if you're a fucking moron.
Right. No, like specifically we were out in the field this past couple of weeks and all the students kept saying, "Oh, we kept seeing snakes." Like I probably saw at least 6 snakes. And they're like, "Oh yeah, that's poisonous snake, poisonous snake." I was like, "It might be poisonous. You should try it. Like go eat it and see if it's poisonous." Um
These are the
so
people defending our country.
yeah. And I was like, but it's definitely not venomous. Like we saw a couple of water snakes out there. We definitely did see some copperheads and some cottonmouths. Um, and those are the scary nope ropes.
Yeah. You work with idiots.
And you don't.
I only work with one.
Yeah, we know. We know who that is.
You know. All right, all right, my question for you. And it's pretty straightforward. Chicken cheesesteak or regular cheesesteak?
Regular cheesesteak.
Why?
I feel like the steak, for instance, it's a cheesesteak, right? That's how it was designed to be eaten is with steak. But I think the fattiness of the beef just gives it the flavor that I like. I mean, I like a chicken cheesesteak, but if I have to pick, like if I'm like, "Ooh, I really want a good cheesesteak right now," like I'm gonna get a regular cheesesteak.
Feel that.
Yeah, I think the fat just gives it that extra like cheesesteak flavor that I like in the steak.
You get peppers and onions on it, obviously.
Yeah, peppers and onions. I usually don't get the mushrooms.
Yeah, it depends on the mood I'm in if I get the mushrooms or not.
Yeah, I don't really vibe with the mushrooms on my cheesesteak. Like I like mushrooms in some things, but not really in my cheesesteak.
All right. That's a good random question segment. No questions about whether they're gonna leave a loved one to burn in a fire. So that's good. Good
Yeah,
end.
yeah. I mean,
You got any closing comments?
yeah. I do actually. Cooper DeJean beats Caitlin Clark 1-on-1, 12-6.
You know what? Fuck it. I'm taking her 12-10.
That's the stupidest thing. You're just doing that because you want to
I'm do
actually support women.
I'm doing that because I care about women's sports. I don't care. It doesn't matter if I mean it or not. I'm doing it because I care about women's sports.
I think Mike Jinks beats Caitlin Clark 12-10.
Are you on fucking drugs?
He's gonna back her down and baby hook her.
If
That's what I'm
he
talking about.
the ball, yeah, I mean,
Well, it's not make it take it, right? You're telling me she's gonna hit all 12?
she could fucking get by Mike.
Yeah. I usually think I can get by Mike too sometimes. But when he fouls the shit out of you every time, And are you going to call it every time? I'm just saying there's a chance.
I mean, I'm not gonna bet against my boy. I just didn't expect you to say that. That's
Sounds
not the
like
name I expected to hear, but I'm rocking with my boy. Fuck it. 12-2. She beats Cooper DeJean, but Mike beats her 12-2. Fuck it.
Cooper
Uh,
DeJean is an elite athlete. If he doesn't want her to get a shot off, or good shot, let me say, she doesn't get a good shot off. She might get like a crazy and be able to throw one up, and she practices those, so she'll make a few, right? But he can just right hand layup her all day. She's
I
too small.
I don't think that she would be able to guard him.
No,
He's too big.
he's
But
he's not even necessarily that big. He's just
too,
too
too big,
physical.
too strong.
And it's not like he's never played. Like he could have played college basketball. Like he's
No, he's a good basketball player.
yeah.
Um, but I think some people might take that as the thinking that we don't think she's as good as she is.
No, like will she beat me 1-on-1? Probably. I think she would, unless she's having a bad day shooting. I think
Wait,
I can.
do you think that guy beats you 1-on-1?
Cooper DeJean,
Yeah.
he just got drafted in the second round of the NFL draft. Playing cornerback is like fifth on Iowa's all-time leading scoring list. Like, yeah, probably. Unless he just hasn't touched a basketball since high school.
Wow.
Do you not think? Do you think you beat him 1-on-1?
No, but I'm not you. You're psychotic. I've beaten you, so I mean, obviously, it's possible that uh I don't know where I was going with that train of thought. I'm better than you, so it doesn't really matter. Of course, I beat you,
Yeah,
but
it's been a long time,
that's neither here nor there.
and it's here. It's here and there.
Um, but oh yeah, there's guys drafted in the first round of the NFL draft who I will beat 1-on-1.
That's not what I'm saying. There's plenty of guys drafted in the first round of the NFL draft that have never played basketball before. Even some of them that have, I'd still beat. But
Yeah,
this person specifically was a very good basketball player, could have played college basketball, and is an elite athlete.
but he's definitely an elite athlete. There's no doubt about that.
Right.
I mean,
So
just the fact that he got uh drafted in the second round and he has the negative about him is his caucasity. So yeah, I'll leave it at that. That's all I got.
yeah, no, we won't dive too much into that. But yeah, Mike beats Caitlin Clark 1-on-1. Only because he fouls the shit out of her.
He's gonna foul her. She'll probably get hurt because he's a fucking
Yeah.
well. He doesn't care if you when you're playing him 1-on-1. It could be his own mother out there, and he would try to kill them.
Right, right. Yeah. Specifically try to injure that person.
Yeah, I mean, it's happened to me on numerous occasions. I'm honestly surprised I am in a position to talk on this podcast after the last time we played when he tried to physically maim me.
Yeah. No, I don't think he tried. I think he did. He did maim you.
Yeah.
That was interesting to watch. But
Well, 12-6. That's all I
yeah,
gotta say.
yeah, he's never beat me in his entire life. Really, I
So,
don't think. So all right. Well, anything else?
no, I like how it just turned into Mike can beat one of the best women's basketball players in the world, but also he's not as good as us.
But he can't beat us.
And that's nice. That's good for him.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Little give and take right there.
All right, dog. I'll catch you next
All right.
time.